Hey team, this is Nathan from RunDreamAchieve.com. Hope you all are having a great week of training. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing a running plan strategy. What do you need to be doing in terms of preparing for your races, but more importantly, how should you set up your training during the week? And I got a great question from one of my visitors to the channel. He had mentioned, I have another question, not sure if that I saw. There's another running channel, not sure if they have any credentials, but I know you do, so I'm asking you this question. This person says to run 3 workouts a week, 1 long run, 1 easy run, 1 hard workout, and the rest of the week just go on easy runs, and it just seems like it's too little work. Now my question is, shouldn't I be doing more like a workout every day and a long run with a recovery day? So 5 days of workouts, 1 long run, 1 recovery day. Okay, so this is a great question, but just know that every athlete is different. So what I recommend may not necessarily work for every single athlete. I can only talk on what worked for me over the years, and what I feel based on not only what I did, but what I studied from world-class coaches that coached me and that taught me specific ways to get better results. There are some athletes that are just at incredible physiological capabilities that have run much faster than I ran at my peak. I do believe in 3 specific workouts per week that you should be doing. You should be doing 1 track session per week, a VO2 max workout where you're really stressing the anaerobic systems of the body, where you're running so fast, you're building up so much lactic acid, you can't spend but only a few seconds to a few minutes at those peak type efforts, where you're running well below goal race pace. Whether if you're training for a marathon, you're training closer to your 3K to 5K race pace. So again, you're getting that marathon race pace to feel more relaxed, not so aggressive. Again, it's going to hurt regardless how fit you are when you're running in a race, because you're running at your anaerobic threshold or slightly above your anaerobic threshold, which is the point where we start to build up lactic acid in the bloodstream, and we start to, we have to deal with that being uncomfortable and deal with trying to process that while we're trying to race and be effective while we're racing. Those VO2 max workouts are critical because you're working on your leg speed, you're recruiting more fast twitch muscle fibers, which the more of those you can recruit, the faster and more effective you're going to be at not only clearing lactic acid faster than it's building up when you're racing, but you're going to be able to hold form better, because again, you're running at such high efforts that it's forcing you to try to force yourself to be relaxed, as opposed to running very easy, when running easy doesn't necessarily take that much effort. Just about anybody can run relaxed for several minutes to even several hours, depending on how slow they're running. So I do believe in a long run. That's the second big workout that's very important, but not just running long, slow, easy long runs every single weekend. That'll make you a very strong, long, slow, easy distance runner. So again, it comes back to the goals of the athletes. If you're wanting to start and finish a marathon, running long, slow, easy runs every single weekend will make you very strong and will make you very effective at that particular goal. But the faster you're trying to race over your chosen distance, the more important it is to start varying up paces during those longer paced efforts. You have to stress the anaerobic systems of the body. You have to get used to running at very high efforts and being very uncomfortable for long periods of time. It's not an easy game to master racing. Racing is an art form. Running easy, just about anybody can do, and that's why trying to run very fast over your specific distance takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience, it takes dealing with setbacks and dealing with ups and downs during your training. So that long run is absolutely essential as well. That's another key component of preparing for any distance. I also believe that the other specific workout that I focused on over the years that eventually helped me run 4:22 for the mile, 9:27 for 2 miles, 14:18 for 5K, 31:09 for 10K, 107:06 for the half, 2:19:35 for the marathon. I say those times not to impress you, but to impress upon you the importance of extending the amount of time you're spending at your anaerobic threshold, okay? Because you're going to be racing, especially if you're running 10K up to the marathon distance, you're just about going to be running at your anaerobic threshold effort. So you have to spend longer periods of time doing longer tempo runs and not just short tempo runs. You can still get great results from shorter tempo runs, especially if you're training for, say, the 800 meter up to the 5K distance. But if you're training for the 10K out to the marathon distance, it's really important to spend a much longer period of time doing at your anaerobic threshold. So getting used to dealing with lactic acid and being able to teach the body to burn fat at race pace and to conserve what you have much less of, which is carbohydrates, that's going to make you very effective at the longer races as well, because again, you're not going to deal with this so-called wall that athletes deal with. And it's not and I've hit the wall as well in the marathon, but it's not a wall. What it really is you just simply running out of glycogen. It's also a lot of other things that could have went wrong during the race. You could have very improperly paced yourself in the early stages of your race. Your muscles start to function, your muscle functioning is affected by that, because there's such a huge influx of lactic acid buildup that you simply cannot clear it. But also, it could be improper hydration practices during the race as well. If it's a hot race and you're not drinking, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So I always tell all athletes during these videos and on RunDreamAchieve.com, pay attention to your hydration practices. Start practicing putting out water bottles every 3 miles or every 5 kilometers during your long runs, and practice hydrating and practice taking in more fluid during those long runs, so that when you get to the race, you're not making those mistakes and you're not, like I said, shooting yourself in the foot even in regards to that. You don't have to hit a wall, but you have to experience what it feels like to be running at more so at sprint paces or for long periods of time at your anaerobic threshold. So when I was training for the marathon, I would get my tempo runs out to around anywhere from like 12 miles to 15 miles in length. That is a long time to be running at tempo effort. And then again, even more importantly, what I was doing was I was absolutely jogging on recovery days. So because I was pushing myself so hard in training on those track sessions and hill repetitions, long tempo runs, varied up paces during my long runs, I would jog on recovery days, and usually I would give myself about 2 days of recovery between each of one of those hard efforts. Now on track sessions, okay, so I talk about a VO2 max workout per week. Sometimes I would do a second, I would do an AM workout where I do a speed session, and then in the PM I would do another harder effort, maybe like a fartlek workout, where I would do maybe 20 minutes, 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy, and so I would do 2 anaerobic workouts on one day, and then I would run easy for 2 days, and then I would do a tempo run, and it would be a longer tempo run, or maybe sometimes it'd be a shorter tempo run. Just depends on where I was at during my training buildup. And then the weekends, I would do a harder long run, followed the following week by a relaxed, easy recovery long run. But the hard run was without question the hardest workout I did. So that's kind of gives you an idea, in terms of your question of how you should be setting up your training. I think it's important to really pay attention to those 3 key strategies. So in terms of your running plan strategy, focus on stressing the anaerobic systems of your body. Do that VO2 max workout per week. If you want to do a second harder, more of an aggressive type workout, I would definitely recommend doing a fartlek workout, because again, it's just speed play. It's speeding up, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. But you don't necessarily have to do a very long fartlek workout in the PM. So AM, do your speed session. If you want to do another harder workout, again, it's individual, everybody's different. do that workout in the PM. I have done that in the past, training for the mile all the way up to the marathon distance. I was always focused on speed, because we only have, again, we can run for long periods of time, easy and relaxed, but it's an art form to run fast. It takes patience and consistent action for long periods of time to really develop your speed. And so that's really important that you pay attention to that as well, as you get ready for your races, Danny. Definitely, it was a great question you asked. So you say, 5 days of workouts, 1 long run, 1 recovery day. Okay, again, everybody's different. I ran 7 days a week. Okay, but some days, if I wasn't feeling it, I would take a day off. I would sometimes even take 2 days during the week off. So there were some weeks I would just run 5 days. But most of the time over my training build up, especially when I graduated from college and started training professionally, I would run just about 6 to 7, most of the time 7 days a week. But again, my easy days were always relaxed and really I was focused on recovery. Again, running great at any distance, there's so many different fundamentals and things you have to pay attention to. It's not just the track sessions and training well below your goal race pace. It's what you're doing off the track and off the roads that really is going to dictate how successful you are at your chosen distance. It's how much sleep you're getting. It's paying attention to nutrition. I have another website, nutritiongeeks.com. Go there. There's a lot of resources there. It's not for everybody, but it is for some people. So nutrition is absolutely essential for great success in our sport. If you're not paying attention to protein and taking, ingesting protein and making sure you're recovering from your hard workouts, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Pay attention to the fundamentals. Pay attention to your running plan strategy, and what the great middle to long distance runners are doing. I did the same thing. I was always focused on studying what athletes that were running faster than I had run, what were they doing? And I studied them intensely. I studied from my coaches that taught me, eventually how to go from a 2:43 marathoner all the way to 2:19. I was a 9:46 2-miler in high school. I wasn't super quick. I ran 4:25 for the mile in high school. Plenty of athletes are doing that and running much faster than I had ever run in high school, but they never ran a 2:19 marathon. And again, 2:19 is decent. But there are plenty of other athletes that have run much faster than that. But it's a time around the world that is respected. And so I only say that it's just because persistent action over long periods of time are going to get you great results. So pay attention to that running plan strategy, your running plan strategy. Focus on those specific types of workouts, and you're going to set yourself up for success, Danny. I hope that answers your question. If you all are brand new to the channel, hit that bell icon, hit the subscribe button, so when I make a new video, you'll be notified of it. If you have any other questions or concerns, leave me a question below the video. There are resources below all of my running videos here on the channel, so definitely take a look at those, because I think that they will potentially help you really reach the next level in your running. Wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.